Is it gravity, your heart and mine? All I know is the stars have aligned. I could count the ways you lit up my life, but I wouldn't try. Your science I can't describe. Love unexplainably taking flight like a satellite. Ask me anything you'd like. I could answer every why. Oh, you wake me up like the morning light. Even darkness can't dim your bright eyes. You're the rising sun, the kindest sign that we'll be alright. Your science I can't describe.
I'm going to call out the Denver Roller Derby Mile High Club. 099 Chinosky, 10 Unprotected Lex, 1337 Glitterous, 151 Cotton, 1706 Miss T Maven, 2 Taryn, 22 Scara to Death, 27 Gobrecht, 33 Klein, 40 Speedlejuice, 50 Scald Eagle, 505 Kraken, 7 Evil X, 8000 California, and 949 Coyote.
All right, and in the white jerseys representing Victorian Roller Derby League, 039 is Jigglytuff, 08 Pulp Friction, 119 Madden, 20 Low Rage, 21 is Vanessa Shredgrave, 23 Gin and Jukes, 242 Snappa, 26-27 Hells Yeah, 29 Bugga, 35 Beef, 4,000 Anna Pavuova, 66 is Barry, 75 Great Dane, 83 Curly Burley, and number 9 is Lethal.
Hey, we're on. Scott Chicken here, joined
by Mamie Theisenhower.
Back
Hello.
from the great of beyond. I don't know. Where are you back from? Back from a hiatus?
I'm back from the great beyond. I was unfortunately passed away for about 3 years, and it's nice to be back.
But you've crawled out of the crypt.
Yeah,
and you're back just
I
in
am
time.
a crypt keeper. If you see my new face, it's pretty scary.
But you're back in time for the third place game, Victoria versus Denver.
Which I'm extremely excited about.
Both teams.
Historically amazing.
Yes, and heavy on the defense all weekend long.
Excellent.
So,
well, I can't wait to see how good they go. And look at that amazing sportsmanship on the jam line already. I love it when competitors are friends.
It's the early dance party.
Yeah. I mean, we still got one game to go after this. So
right.
You got to get started sometime.
Yes, these teams, Victoria ending up on the south side of our friends from St. Louis arch rival, who very solid defense and also some good offense. And then
incredible game yesterday.
Wheels of Justice rolling over Denver.
Yeah, as they do.
As Wheels will do, yes. Insert as many Wheels puns in the next game as we can.
Excellent. It's like Derby never left. And that is that rolling whistle saying we are about to start.
We got Misty Maven jamming against 4,000 Anna Pavuova. I've only announced these 5 times today. And Misty Maven trapped at the back. Anna Pavuova through first. Lead jammer jam number 1.
Extremely hard hit against unprotected Lex. Trying to hold that front line.
Misty Maven is clear. Anna Pavuova working through, checking with the bench. Bench is like, hey, you should call this off.
And indeed, always listen to your bench.
Yes. 2 points, 2-0. Quick start. less than a minute. What was that, like 40-second jam, 30-second
Yeah.
jam? I don't know. That's
Really
not a lot of time.
quick and easy 2 points. Not able to get the full 4 because the other jammer came through.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now we've got Scald Eagle squaring off with Curly Burley. And the Laughing Planet penalty box still empty. So it's another advantage of the 40-second jam is nobody goes to the penalty box.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't remember which team. Somebody in the yesterday had 3 penalties in 2 jams.
Oh,
The first 2 jams, not the way to start.
that breaks your heart. And we see Curly Burley getting recycled all the way back.
And Scald Eagle falling on top.
And Scald Eagle in the blue jersey, lead jam for this jam.
It's nice of Kraken to provide the cushion when Scald Eagle fell down. I don't think that was the plan.
But you know, teammates are teammates.
I will save my jammer from impacting the ground. There's a penalty somewhere.
that is
Multiplayer block, right?
Multiplayer.
Someone should leave.
That is number
Speaking of Kraken.
505.
All right, Scald Eagle clear with 4. Curly Burley also now out of the pack.
And Scald Eagle not calling yet. Trying to pick up a couple points. And smart move. We got the full 4 for Scald in Denver and 0 points for Victorian.
Scald Eagle noticing, hey, Victoria's at the back of the pack. Grab them before others get there. Next on our Jam on Hawthorne jammer line, we've got Klein up against number 29, Bugga. Ooh. And the official roster finally delivered.
I love an official
You have to
roster.
just go off of what does the shirt say.
But both of these jerseys are nice and clear, so
Yes,
hey, I
very
appreciate
true.
them all.
Good contrast of numbers to colors. Not great contrast with everybody smashed together. It is nice that it's also everybody's blue and white. I
Yep.
guess it's sort of silver on the
And
Denver
we
side.
saw incredible toe stop work there from Victorian jammer Bugga.
And yes, Bugga out as lead jammer. Klein trapped up at the front. Looking back, like, is there a pivot? No, there is not. Pivot is
There-
otherwise engaged.
A little help from Kraken gets our Denver jammer Klein into the passing pass. Passing
That's
pass?
yes.
Yeah.
And Bugga
Look,
taps the hips.
I
Calls
word,
it-
I word good.
That's
It is known.
an important good word. 3 points. VRDL takes us to 8-5 with 26 minutes and change to go in the first period. Winner gets, I didn't even see, is there hardware? Are we handing out prizes? Is there a third place medal for the hometown throwdown?
I have no
I should
idea.
probably know this, having been here all day.
Yeah. We've been watching the games,
That's
not the
right.
prizes.
That's right.
And we've got just a big scrum approaching the pivot line, but we do see Denver's jammer making that effort, but not close enough. Anna Pavey came around the outside line, took the lead. We do see Denver's Cotton is out and about.
Maybe. Sneaking around the outside.
And
Smiling and nodding.
I am enjoying the strategies I'm seeing today of doing the fast pack whenever
Yes.
possible. And just it's more fun to watch, I think.
Yeah, and it's with the new rules of pack definition. Like, hey, if we run away, they have to chase us.
Yep.
They can't just stand there and wait for us to come back. Which
I appreciate it when
Yeah.
the rule makers think about, well, what does the game look like?
looks more fun.
Yeah.
All right, Misty Maven back out for Denver. Curly Burley jamming for Victoria. Whistles blowing. Someone should be.
And that was a forearm. Oh, no, it is a power jam for Curly Burley coming out.
Yes, Misty Maven forearming her way to the Laughing Planet penalty box.
And that is Scare to Death of Denver also going to the penalty box. So Denver is not in a good state for this power jam.
4 points up. Curly Burley on the first scoring pass. Trying the outside lane this time.
And really nice opening from teammate number 35, Beef.
And Barry picking up a penalty and also heading to that Laughing Planet penalty box. Direction to play the call as Denver's box empties out. And wow, Misty Maven getting the cut track, the entering too early, I'm assuming. So there's your
Almost certainly.
two jammer penalties in one jam.
So we will have that 2-minute jam.
Oh, Curly Burley could call it off, but might not want to. We'll see.
I mean,
Oh, yep, there
it
they go.
depends on if they want to start. Here we go.
Yes. It was like the bench is asking for it.
Yeah.
We'll see if Curly Burley pays any attention.
It's bad news if you don't listen to your bench
Yes.
coach. Because you got to go to that bench in 30 seconds.
They're going to be, what are you doing, not listening to me?
Yeah.
Curly Burley did pick up all 4 on that pass, so now we jump up to 21-8.
Victoria making an excellent showing. Having potentially learned some lessons from their last game here at the,
Yes,
the hometown
potentially.
throwdown.
That was, I think they were a little surprised.
Yeah, you know
By that
what?
game.
Victoria, they are historically an astonishingly good team. So, like we're seeing now from Anna Pavyova, smiling as she comes around the track, knowing, hey, this is what good skating looks like.
Hey, look at that. Misty Maven out of the penalty box.
And Victorian bench coach saying, circle it around, make another lap, but maybe not anymore.
Misty Maven clears, and Anna Pavyova calls off the jam. No points, Denver. Misty Maven checking in with the referees. Perhaps clarification, who knows?
You know
Brief
what?
conversation, which doesn't matter.
I gotta say, one of the reasons I love being over here in the Rose City Dome is the refs are always tremendous. All of our
Yes.
skating and non-skating officials, highest caliber.
Yes, indeed.
And both jammers speeding up toward that faraway pack. And unsurprisingly, here comes Scald Eagle, cutting through like butter.
Yes. Bugga, on the other hand, trapped a bit by the pack as part of a knee pad goes flying across the track into the infield.
And
Jam
especially,
is called maybe equipment. I don't know.
well, especially as slippery as the floor has been this weekend, I think it is the increased humidity of it's autumn.
Yeah, that's true. And it was raining really hard the last
Yeah.
2 days. Today, relatively dry, but
It just
Yeah.
started raining again.
Oh, did it?
So,
All right.
yeah, so we're having very Portlandy weather.
yes.
Which is lovely, but it makes the ground a little slippy for all these skaters.
True.
Oh, instant
Klein.
lead jam.
Klein, just no one in the way on that inside lane. Curly Burley, on the other hand, everyone in the way in the middle of the track. It's Klein.
Nice gentle block from number 2627. Hells yeah.
But Klein able to get through. Picks up 4. As Curly Burley pushing to the front.
Klein re-entering the pack, getting a couple points. Final blocker didn't quite knock her out. That was number 66 from Victorian, Barry.
Klein again, just
Making it look easy.
slicey. And star pass off to Barry for Victoria. As Klein, wide open lane on the inside, one to beat. Jukes around Beef. Calls off the jam.
Just absolutely brilliant jamming there from Klein.
Yes, and our first lead change. Second lead change of the game, I guess, technically, because Victoria was up 2-0 to start with. And then came back and then back forth. So 28-24, just under 20 minutes to go in the half. It's called Eagles like, hey, Klein, you made that look fun. Let me try again. And there's number 08, Pulp Friction, jamming for Victoria, but Scald Eagle makes it 3 in a row. Lead jammers for Denver. Pulp Friction shouldered out by Coyote, who then sits back in. 22 scared to death, taking a little tumble, but meanwhile, Scald Eagle through for 4 points.
And we did have a penalty. I didn't see for what misdemeanor that was, but that's 9:49 in blue for Denver. Coyote is sitting in the penalty box.
Scald Eagle shirt whipping through the pack. Adds 3 more, now 35-24. And it looks like a forearm called on Coyote.
Ah, thank you for that.
It's the tricks of the technology, and the screen shows us what's happening. If
I
only we can get this onto the onto the stream, then it'll be just mind blowing.
Life will be beautiful.
All right, Speedlejuice jamming for the first time today for Denver. Anna Pavuova with the star for Victoria. Speedlejuice trying, but man, again, that Victoria defense, just a roll forward repeatedly, giving time for Anna Pavuova to grab lead jammer.
And just in time with the score at 35-24.
Yes. And finally, Speedlejuice finds room on the far side. Breaks through. Anna Pavuova on the scoring run.
And with the pack stopped, let's see what happens. No?
They were given some sort of like do the running man, I think was the gesture coming from the bench. Hard to tell. Well, that's going to be a penalty right there.
Yeah, it's going to leave a mark.
Oh, and it was a penalty against Victoria. Misconduct for Snappa, who I think probably knocked the other down skater into the down skater. And 4 points up for Speedlejuice. And Anna Pavuova finally calls off the jam.
In the most calm, I'm looking dead in the eyes of my jam ref.
Like, I got the points, right? Okay, good, we'll call it. I was like, I don't know, did you get the points? Why don't you try calling off the jam? We'll find out.
And holding at 39-28, each team got 4 points. So no change of difference.
But we do have a timeout brought to you by Deb Counts Tabor, Rose City Rollers official realtor. Welcome to PDX.
And if you're not yet in PDX, why not?
Why not? Exactly.
Come on over.
Let Welcome to PDX find you a home. And then you can come right here to the hangar and
That is literally
enjoy
what
all-
I did. This is
like-
my life story.
I want to move somewhere else. I'll go to Portland. They have roller derby.
Yeah. They have some of the best roller derby.
They also have Two-Town Cider, damn fine cider made right here in the Pacific Northwest, which is available at the bar here in the pavilion. But if you're not here, then that doesn't help you. You'll have to go to your local grocer, I guess.
You have two options. You can come here for our next game,
Yes.
or you can go anywhere that sells fine ciders.
Yes.
And I will vouch personally for their Maid Marian.
Oh, the Maid Marian is delightful.
Is
Yeah, that's very good.
incredible. All of their ciders are incredible. That one's my fave.
Yes. That's the Marian Berry, right?
The Marian
Yeah.
Berry. Hence the name.
Yes, exactly. I was like, wait, I'll figure this out. What berry is that?
You know, they know how to name things. They're all good. And so my question is this an official timeout?
I think so. She was indicating official timeout earlier.
Okay. I don't have direct sight line
Right.
to
Speaking of officials, let's mention them. Our referees
please.
with skates and stripes. Adam Splitter, Carmen Dragon, Darth Bling, Doesn't Matter, Goldie, Ninja Sassum, Umpire Strikes Back, and Smush. And our non-skating officials, Amy Farrell Fowler, Jimmy Chunkla, Decider, Doof Warrior, Flourish, Millie Dread, 9 Inch Wheels, Queen of Catitude, Rita Slayworth, and Talia Up. It's been, as you said, excellent officiating across the board this weekend.
Yeah, all extremely experienced high-level
Yes.
officials.
And one definite advantage Rose has with the permanent facility is the ability to get everything set up so that it actually works.
For real. I've experienced many a day of early arrival to tape down a track.
Yes. All right, Ninja is having a chat with the skater in the penalty box. This may be rolling into, dare we say it, ejection territory over that misconduct. That's probably what they were discussing.
It was a bit
guess.
far for me to see
Right, it
because
was all-
we're at the jam line, and that was at turn
Far
3.
corner of the building.
So so we didn't have clear line of sight to what exactly was happening, but it looked like a lot of things were happening.
Right. Yeah,
And-
exactly.
And as you mentioned earlier, you cannot use one skater to barrel them into
Right.
another skater and have that be okay.
Yes. I'm
and
guessing
so
that was.
I
think that was Snappa that just rolled out of the penalty box.
We have
and is-
upgraded the illegal contact penalty on VRDL 242 to an expulsion.
There we go.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And the crowd goes, oh, which
Well-
it's unfortunate. It was
No, you hate to see it.
Right.
You hate to see it, but it comes to a point of even if it wasn't intentional, if it's dangerous enough,
Exactly.
you got to take that action.
right. And from here, the angle of the contact looked like, oh, someone just smacked the jammer in the head with their arm, but that was clearly as a result of the other action earlier
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Speaking of action, Misty Maven rolling over and
And we did
move
have
multiplayer block on Misty Maven.
Yep.
That is Misty Maven's third penalty of the game.
And that goes with Victoria's pivot number 66, also in the penalty box. So each team down a skater, but unfortunately Denver's down their jammer.
Yes. And that will allow Curly Burley maybe the chance to grab lead jammer. However, a lot of Denver blockers in the way.
And looking like they're trying to shove that Denver blocker into an official. Not
Just
to,
about. Taryn thought they were the last line of defense and had the good hit, but it turns out it was a little too far ahead. So Curly Burley lead jammer. And Taryn off to the penalty box.
Oh, incredible defense by Great Dane from Victorian, allowing Curly Burley this next pass.
Misty Maven out of the penalty box and through, completes the initial.
And with this fast pack, is not able to get even approaching an
Yes.
opposing jammer or opposing blocker to catch a point.
Yes, Gobrecht, the pivot for Denver. Just, I'm going to stay ahead.
Yep.
Keep driving. Enough people are close to keep things moving.
Yeah.
So an 11-0 run. Hey, we're tied 39-39 with 15 minutes to go in the first period. And a timeout called.
And that
Perhaps
is for
by Denver, right? Yes.
Yeah. Denver is deciding to call that timeout.
This timeout brought to you by Rose City Rollers Realtor, Deb Counts-Tabor. Welcome to PDX. Get used to saying that a lot this weekend.
Well, I mean, we've had a lot of timeouts.
Exactly.
And when you,
Deb gets her money's worth.
look, I'm going to say,
could say.
if you want to hear the name of your company said a lot, sponsor timeouts and sponsor penalties.
Yes.
That will get you so much bang for your buck.
Should also thank Jam on Hawthorne for sponsoring the Jammer line. Jam on Hawthorne, Portland's best vegan-friendly, booze-friendly, kid-friendly, omnivore-friendly, everybody-friendly breakfast.
Delightful.
Yet another trip to Portland, and I have yet to go to Jam on Hawthorne because I never. I
how
always
dare
wake up
you.
too late, and I'm like, I can't go to breakfast. I got to go to the venue.
You got to come a day early.
That could do it.
Yeah.
I like friendly breakfasts.
I mean, who doesn't like a friendly breakfast?
All right, Scald Eagle, Anna Pavuova on that Jam on Hawthorne jam line. 4-on-2 in the pack as the Laughing Planet penalty box has unprotected Lex and Taryn both standing and then released. Wow, an impressive defense by Denver, being able to just stay out of the way so that Baby couldn't get through.
And Pavey could come
But
through.
then, you know, what the heck? Everybody falls down, you can get through and be lead.
You can't let that inside line be unattended.
Oh,
But
or
that
not.
is not that's a forearm penalty.
Oh, and a bonus as well. I'm seeing the additional misconduct for maybe not leaving the track quick enough or some such.
Entirely possible.
We'll mark that up, X and M. Scald Eagle lead with 4.
And with all the power, a wide open inside. And just smoothly glides on by.
Scald Eagle rolling for the 3rd pass. Victoria trying to stay ahead, but excellent lead blocking by Chinaski.
Yeah, Denver forcing the speed on that pack just wrecked that Victorian wall.
Yes.
And now the pack is extended, and an individual blocker is not going to hold Scald.
No, Madden's not going to hold him, but standing sideways. Like, here's my legal engagement zone. Womp. Timeout called this time by Victoria. This timeout brought to you by Deb Count Stable, Rose City Rollers official realtor. And we'd like to thank Die My Darling Hair Salon, Lionheart Kombucha, the Portland Mercury, and Gayaki Yerba Mate.
The Gayaki or Yerba Mate, always delicious, always available here.
Yes.
At the rink. Again, come on by for your cider. You're not into cider, you need to come up rather than come down? Get you Yerba Mate.
Sure. Or you could go with Rogue Ales and Spirits, world-class ales, lager, spirits, and canned cocktails, also made right here in Oregon.
As honestly,
so many beverage sponsors.
the best craft beers and ciders, all made right here in Oregon.
All right, so that was a 16-point jam for Scald Eagle, taking Denver to 55. Victoria still at 39. And no one in penalty trouble yet, just some with 2. So that's good, although we do have that one ejection on the Victoria side. All right, power start for Klein as Anna Paviova standing in the penalty box. Victoria running the pack forward again. Klein has passed 1, but now has 3 at the front as everybody trying to catch up, and Denver trying to grab a goat and also slow down Pavy.
And on Victorian side, that was, I thought I saw 6-6, but it couldn't have been. Oh, no. It was 6-6 who opened up that wall, opened a door, made their jammer get the lead.
Yes, Anna Paviova is lead. It took a while to call it. I think the jam ref had thought it had been called already, but
Not
got
yet.
it right.
Now
And
it has.
Yes, and Pavy says, I'll just call that off then, thank you. Take the 4 points.
Yep.
Go sit down. So 43-55, 12-point game with 12 and a half minutes to go in this first period.
And again, loving to see the general sense of sportsmanship. People
Yes.
excited to see each other on the jam line. Opposing skaters offering a hand to fallen, people on the other team. It's nice to see.
Yeah, it has been that way pretty much all weekend. I don't think anyone's gotten super angry, at least not visibly from up here.
Nah.
Maybe afterwards, but not here.
And that's a forearm penalty being called against someone who hasn't left the track yet. There we go. 13:37 Denver. That is Glitterous.
Cotton grabs lead. Bugga trying to break on the inside, but knocked to the infield.
And Bugga going up against a very powerful Denver wall that got broken up rather neatly by 26-27. Hells yeah.
But then regrouped as Cotton out free. 4, and the star pass off to Barry from Bugga. That's the second star pass of the game for Victoria. Second going to Barry as well. And Cotton calls it off. After grabbing 4 more, 8-0 on the jam. A 20-point game now, 63-43.
Denver more than making up for the evenness and little behindness of the very beginning of the game.
Yes.
And a grin, a fist bump between our two opposing jammers says, I may like you, but I'm going to destroy you now.
Yes. It's two jammers. Misty Maven for Denver, Curly Burley for Victoria.
Victoria getting recycled.
And Misty Maven just on the sled at the front. Push, push, push. Gets past Lethal and LaRage to grab lead. Misty Maven now in for the scoring pass as Curly Burley held up at the back. Curly Burley trying to get to the inside. Door closed off by Scara to death.
Blocker for Victorian. Great Dane making every move on the track. I rarely see a blocker being that much everywhere.
And jam is called. Misty Maven picks up the points, calls it off. A 4-0 run. We're down to 9.5 minutes to go, 67-43. And we are back to the Scald Eagle Anna Pavuova show.
It's nice to see Scald continuing the Elder Derby tradition of face paint.
Yes. So, I mean, it wouldn't be the same if Scald Eagle didn't have the face paint.
Now I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
Right? Needs to add a belt and a tutu, and then we'll really be 2006.
Scald makes the apex jump.
Yes. A killer burger. That killer apex jump brought to you by Killer Burger. 5 minutes to burgers and fries.
And now the pack is chasing the jammers. And finally, Denver decides that's enough of that.
Scald Eagle playing some defense on Pavey. Anna Pavuova is lead jammer.
And Scald was not able to knock Pavey out. In fact, knocked herself out. Oh!
Glitterous. Standing tall, knocking Anna Pavuova down, and then heading to the penalty box with the forearm.
And the crowd goes wild.
But sometimes you got to blow someone up with your forearm. What are you going to do?
Sometimes you do. As long as it's not a penalty, or as long as it's not an expulsion. One of these days, it's like, man.
1 point each, so it's 66-44. This is a solid start to our final two games of the tournament. And hey, look, Gin and Jukes.
Oh.
Jamming for the first time this evening.
And once again, we have a jammer race. But the pack has decided, no, you know what? We ran it down the first time and it didn't work. Let's try to hold the line.
Nice of Klein to give Gin and Jukes a little pat. Like, that was a nice try.
Yeah.
I'm also fast. I will catch you.
I mean, any jammer's got to be fast.
Yeah. Yes.
But
true.
You ain't got nothing if you ain't got speed.
Misty Maven back to jam for Denver.
And a very active pre-whistle pack.
Yes. Vanessa Shredgrave with the star for the first time tonight for Victoria.
And then we saw a jammer on jammer recycle, which we haven't seen thus far. But wait a second. That was a cut track. So she had, I believe she got the lead before she cut the track, but we're about to see because once Vanessa Shredgrave comes out, we will see if she gets lead or if there is no lead.
Exactly. The board is showing the lost, so I think it was signaled, but I didn't catch it. I was too busy scribbling notes and whatnot.
On that board, that could also mean lost the opportunity.
That's, good point, good point. See, there you go.
I know one
This is
derby
why we
fact.
have multiple people on the call. Better interpretation. So Shreds just trapped.
And even before Shreds could get out, we have got Misty Maven coming back on the track with a nasty Victorian wall.
Yes, the power jam kill complete.
Great Dane not even needing to participate.
No.
Just saying, do you have it? Yes, you do. I'll help my jammer now.
Exactly. Are we close enough that I don't have to bridge anymore?
Yeah.
Vanessa Shredgrave forced out of bounds. Has to roll back. 29 seconds left in jam time as Misty Maven now playing defense as a jammer. Denver probably figuring, hey, if we could just get no points, that's fine.
Yeah, it's better
They're
than
ahead.
negative.
Burn some clock.
And Misty Maven is out and about.
That was the initial.
And
Vanessa Shredgrave out, but took the helmet cover off, so it won't matter. It's
Yeah.
2 seconds to go.
so honestly, never answered that question of who
No, we don't
actually
know.
would have got the lead. There were too many obstacles to a lead
Too
jammer
much
being
going
called.
on. Yes, and a 0-0 jam keeps us 68-44.
That was the hardest 0-0
lot,
jam I've seen in a
right?
while.
Klein back out to the jam on Hawthorne jammer line, squaring up with Curly Burley.
And we have an official timeout,
Official
or is it
review.
official review? Pardon me.
Yes, official review
Denver.
called by Denver. This timeout brought to you by Deb Count Sabor, Rose City Rollers official realtor. If you're ready to move to Portland and join Rose City, let Welcome to PDX help you find a home.
And I'll tell you, PDX is nice. It's a great
is?
city to live in.
What?
If you-
It's not a hellscape like like the news says?
I feel like every city I've lived in, the news says is a hellscape, but I just want to say to all the news people, hey,
Maybe just
Hey.
focusing on that 2-block radius isn't so great. Oh god, yeah. When mid-pandemic, when Seattle had a Black Lives Matter group occupying part of a park, and one of my
Right.
relatives in Florida was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "There's people sitting in a park. It's not a big deal."
and coming from San Francisco
Mm-hmm.
and the greater Bay Area, yeah, people are always saying how that place is falling apart.
Exactly.
I'm like, it's actually kind of nice.
It's fine.
It's too expensive, but it's kind of nice.
Denver is requesting a clockwise block on white 7-5.
All right. Denver trying to get Great Dane another penalty.
And honestly, I don't blame them for
No,
trying.
it's a solid attempt. If you think you see something, you got 4 or 5 minutes to go. Might as well use the official review.
As they say in the airport, if you see something, say something.
Worst case, they've given people the chance to rest.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Rebel Heart Therapy, individual and relational therapy for Portland's Black Sheep and Unicorns. And we'll also thank Liquid Death. If you know, you know. I do not know. I'm just going to state that.
It is
I have
one
not
of-
sampled Liquid Death, so I don't know.
It is one of the many beverages that we enjoy
There are many
here
beverages, yes.
at the rink.
So next at, what time is the next game? 5 o'clock, I think?
5 o'clock.
All right, so in an hour and 25-ish minutes will be our championship game, Wheels of Justice versus arch rival.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Then, I mean, things were loud here earlier. They'll be loud, even louder for the Wheels
got all
of
those.
Justice.
I was going to say all those local Wheels of Justice fans.
Yeah, I saw the sign outside. All Sunday games sold out, which is great because they didn't. I think last night was definitely sold out, and there were a couple
Yeah.
others, but the earlier games had not been quite as well attended. But that's all
But
right.
still very loud.
Yes,
Lots
very, very
of
loud.
very vociferous fans of every single team here. And it's especially nice for the very far away teams to get
Yeah.
that kind of love right here in Portland.
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, Victoria's always had a good network of support in the Northwest because they came to Big O a couple of times. They have come out for other tours of the West and the rest of the United States. That's a long way to travel to
Yeah.
play your
Yeah.
hobby sport. So good
Was-
on them.
One of the things I adored about the Big O tournament is
Yes.
all of those different
There
teams.
was not sufficient evidence to issue that penalty. Denver does not retain.
All right. Thank you, Ninja Sassum. Clear and concise as always. And we're back with Klein and Curly Burley. Laughing Planet penalty box empty. So all 8 blockers on the track. And away they go, and Klein has the empty line on the inside. You can't give Klein that much room.
No, that was a full foot,
That
I
was-
want to say, of
yeah.
empty space.
Didn't even have to turn sideways. Just like, I'm just going to shrink up a little bit and go right through.
And Curly Burley coming up fast enough that is called with, was that 1 point or 2 points?
I think it's 2.
2 points.
Had a skater fall down on the other one. Like, yes, grab the 2, call it off, 70-44.
And all of a sudden, as we approach the end of this half, Denver has a very comfortable lead.
Yes. And they've held Victoria scoreless the last 3 jams. After that 1-1 tie, Anna Pavuova going to try and change things up a bit. As unfortunately, everyone at Denver is like, no, you're going to back up. But Pavy says, oh! Misconduct the call.
And so Scald Eagle takes the lead.
That is Pavy's 3rd penalty of the game.
Oof. And bad timing in this moment
Yes.
because Scald is such a fast and strong skater.
Right. Able to keep, again, that was less than a foot.
And
Going
again,
to one leg.
I've never seen someone with their skates glued to the floor like Scald.
Right.
Like, that wasn't even an apex jump.
No,
that was an apex saunter.
Yes. That killer apex saunter brought to you by Killer Burger. And another little slide and a spin.
And another 4 points.
Another 4 points.
I mean, so far this is a 12-point jam for Scald.
Yes, and that's just the start of it. Pavy out of the penalty box, getting a little whip assist from Beef. As Victoria trying to regroup, but Scald Eagle able to slice through the middle of the pack.
And Scald looking back to the bench to say, yes, indeed, call it.
But Anna Pavuova grabs 3, 16-3 on the jam, 86-47. And we've got 2.5 minutes to go in the period. Gin and Jukes back out to jam. Misty Maven coming up saying, where are my blockers? I would like a couple of blockers. That was a great gesture. Like, what is happening? I only see white. This is not right.
And with, I believe, 1 second to spare, the blockers arrived.
Managed to get into play. Gin and Jukes, number 23, lead jammer for Victoria. Only 2 blockers on the track for Denver, as California and Glitters both serving illegal position penalties. Although it looks like Glitterus has been released. And here comes California out of the box with 4 points up for Gin and Jukes. Misty Maven still trapped at the back. Gin and Jukes adding another 4.
And Misty Maven absolutely stopped. Absolutely stopped by that powerful 3-wall. It is now a 4-wall and a star pass. That was an excellent idea.
Yes, California sneak in the hand into the middle of the tripod to grab the star.
And they didn't even seem to notice her.
There have been this weekend has had some very good subtle star passes. So a couple of times with, who was it, Poison Violet passing it behind the back. Like, ooh, just grab it over here.
Very nice.
So 12-0 takes Victoria to 59. 27 points behind Denver.
And the pack up towards the pivot line, rushing towards the jam line.
Where they will find Klein and Curly Burley, and Klein gets out first. Lead jammer.
Klein having a good run of lead jams.
Then bumps in and runs flat up against Hills, and Beef before bouncing to the outside to grab the points.
And we've got 1 player from each team in the penalty box.
Yes, Glitterus and Barry in that Laughing Planet box, and Klein grabs more points and calls off the jam.
It's just really elegant skating there at the end.
So 94-59, and that is the half. I totally lost track of how much time was left. I'm like, oh, wait, that says intermission.
That's
all right.
it.
That was a very exciting first half.
I love this
of Roller
game.
Derby. So we will take a 10-minute break and be back with the second half of Victorian Roller Derby versus Denver.
We'll see you then.
Love unexplainably taking flight like a satellite. This night, brilliantly simplified. taking flight like a satellite. This night, brilliantly simplified. I look at you and my heart takes flight like a satellite. Oh, always
And we're back for the second half. Denver versus Victoria. That was a good first half.
It was an excellent first half. It's honestly, I don't always see Derby this exciting with
Yeah.
a large point separation.
Right.
And I'm thrilled to see it. I feel like both teams are playing extremely well. It's just that Denver has jammers that do defense as well, and jammers that have been given the opportunity to pick up multiple laps of points, whereas Victorian really has not. And even with, we looked at the stats over the break, Denver has incrementally worse stats. They have equal lead jams, 11-11, and they've just been, I believe Victorian has one less.
Yep, 13-14 on the penalty board.
Penalty board, yep.
And Denver's got Glitterous with 4, and that's it. That's the highest penalty gainer.
And we got
that's not a
a
thing.
few on each team with 3.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's, from a stats perspective, this is a very even game.
It is, and yet the scoreboard not quite so even.
No.
Lead score as well. If you took Scald Eagle out of the mix, you'd have a totally different game because Scald has 52 points.
Well, I mean, tale as old as time.
Yes.
If you took Scald Eagle out of the game, you'd have a totally different Derby.
You would indeed. A very different Derby. But we don't have to take Scald Eagle out of the game because there she is, standing at the Jam on Hawthorne jammer line. To be joined by Curly Burley. Curly Burley, actually, I believe, leading the way for Victoria with 23 points, just ahead of Anna Pavuova with 21.
See, extremely good. It's
Very
just
close.
that Scald Eagle got 52.
Yes,
52.
Scald also 83% lead jammer with 5 out of 6 jams getting lead, which is that's very good. Anna Pavuova though 75%.
And Gin
6
and
out of
Jukes
8.
100%.
Yes,
Now-
Gin and Jukes came in late.
Only 2
Solid.
jams, but both of them got lead.
Both of them got lead and picked up 12 points overall. So period 2 is coming up. Oh, it's track repair. It's track repair brought to you by Tape. Tape when you want to stick things together, or a rope to a floor. Get some today at your local tape warehouse. Ninja's like, let's get this tape off the track. I want to play some roller derby.
And now that we have a fully fledged track, once again, we have Scald Eagle going up against Curly Burley.
One skater in the penalty box, Barry, sitting over the break.
So
All
until
by
they
her
get out of
lonesome.
that penalty box, there will be no star passes from Victorian. Oh, and
But
a
no need.
beautiful use of leverage. Curly
Yes.
Burley just shoving through that inside line.
Ghost Jammer in turn 4, taking Curly Burley down. Scald Eagle out of the pack and approaching as well. Curly Burley caught up at the back by 22, Scara to death. Calls off the jam, only picks up 1 point. So now we've got 34-point game, 94-60. And Anna Pavuova out to jam against Misty Maven. Laughing Planet penalty box empty to start jam 2.
And that Victorian wall skating towards the jammer didn't matter. Misty Maven gets out for lead. And Anna Pavuova, Pavy is coming through.
Misty Maven, I thought almost lining up for a jump, but then went, oh wait, ankle's wrong. We'll just go in the middle. Just slide right through and grab 4 points. What the heck?
You have to have lightning reflexes as a
Yes.
jammer.
So 4-0 run, 98-60. Speedlejuice out to jam against Gin and Jukes. Split pack, half at the back, half at the front. Gin and Jukes sprinting to the front. Speedlejuice, the little lead blocking from Scara to death.
Coming up through the inside, meeting a very tough wall.
Yes.
Group hug in the center.
Everybody's so friendly.
And coming back to get fully recycled with a fellow blocker. That's number 2 for Denver, Taryn.
With Jin and Jukes out the front. And lead jammer, and now takes Taryn to the ground. Taryn's like, wasn't that a penalty? Nope, hit you in the hip. Legal engagement zone.
And getting pushed back, recycled to the middle.
As 119 Madden heading to the Laughing Planet penalty box for a forearm penalty, thinning out the pack for Victoria. Speedlejuice just nowhere to go. Star is in hand.
But Pivot is not approaching
Nope.
to take it.
Gilbrecht is like, I got defense to do up here. Now Gilbrecht working more of a bridge as Jin and Jukes caught up at the back.
And pushed
Dump.
into the inside. And what penalty have we here?
Forearm penalty called on Taryn. Jin and Jukes calls off the jam as Speedlejuice had finally exited the pack.
With those two fighting next to each other, I really wish that Speedlejuice was Beetlejuice. Because then we
that
would
would
have
be
Jin
good.
and Jukes against Beetlejuice. But alas, my dreams shall not come true today.
Have to find some other league with a. I'm sure there's a Speedlejuice out there somewhere.
Yeah,
That's too good a name to pass up.
it's too good.
Klein jamming against Vanessa Shredgrave.
Ooh.
And they're both on the sides. Wow.
And again, a toe stop run gets Klein the lead.
Yeah, Shred's trying the same on the inside, but tripped up. California will head to the penalty box for a low block. Probably what tripped up Vanessa Shredgrave. 4 points for Klein.
Oof. No pass, no penalty. That worked out just fine.
2 blockers, now 3 on the track for Denver. As Klein calls off the jam, no points for
Came
Victoria.
in.
4 more for Denver.
Victorian jammer passed everyone just after that whistle was blown.
So Denver now over 100, 106 to 64. And Scald Eagle set to jam for the second time this half.
Up against number 83, Curly Burley.
Denver with California still serving the low block penalty. So only 3 blockers, no one to help Scald Eagle out at the back.
And Scald Eagle still pushing forward, actually moving the Victorian wall inch by inch.
Slowly but surely. Jigglypuff playing the bridge. Now slowing up as California out, and Curly Burley lead jammer.
And now that Scald has some assistance, that was from pivot number 8,000 California.
Curly Burley on a scoring pass, 2 to beat, scared to death as the anchor at the end after Coyote has to let go. And there is 4 points up for Curly Burley. And Scald Eagle passing off the star to California. So now we get to see Scald Eagle playing defense.
Ooh. And a nasty fall with a forearm block.
And a high block, I
Oh,
think,
a high
called
block,
on
pardon
California.
me.
Yeah, it must have both coming in hot and to the wrong part of the body.
Yeah. That's why we have hitting zones and blocking zones.
Yes. 44 seconds. Curly Burley says, I'm just going to pin California in the penalty box now.
Yeah.
I've had enough of this pushing on Scald Eagle.
And honestly, great technique, because then they start off with power jam. They have a
Exactly.
better opportunity to score points before that amazing Denver offense comes again.
And we get to see Misty Maven as a pivot. So it's a win-win for everyone.
Yeah, right on.
Anna Pavuova at the Jam on Hawthorne jammer line for Victoria. Oh, and picks up a high block penalty of her own.
Yes, so had the advantage, lost the advantage.
Yes, now California could get lead.
And
Once he's
Pavey is going to
released.
sit for as long as California had been sitting.
Mm-hmm. Great Dane just knocking people over because why not?
I mean, I get the sense that that's just what they do.
Yep. You're in the way. Get out of the way. Now just shoving Misty Maven like, I need to get back to the pack. I need to defend. Stop trying to hold me back here. California wisely bumps back out, and Anna Paviova out of the pack completes the
After
initial.
being fully recycled by Great Dane.
And there is your star pass to Misty Maven, so we'll have another 53 seconds worth of jam. And Anna Paviova picks up 4. Misty Maven slowed down as the Denver pack regroups.
But Misty Maven still picking up speed even through all 4 opposing blockers. Oh, and again, that was about 6 inches wide open on that inside line, allowing Pavey to just glide through on one skate.
And Misty Maven also bumping off of Barry and keeping the feet in bounds. A little spin maneuver. Another 4, so 8-8 on the jam so far. Denver now closing Anna Paviova down. As we're ticking down, 5 seconds to go in the jam. Misty Maven slides through and then rolls back. I'm like, you're not out of bounds. What are you doing? Are you recycling? No, oh, you're just like the jam's over, so I'm just going to go back. All right.
Yeah.
A 12-10 Denver jam win takes them to 119. Victoria at 81.
So great work from both teams.
If you're enjoying this on the stream and you're thinking, boy, I wish I could go to Texas and watch it live, well, you can. Dallas Derby Devils hosting Clover Cup, March 2024, North Richland Hills, Texas. Get your tickets and information at clovercup.com.
Oh, and while Denver was working on Bugga on the inside, Evil X glided through on the outside. First time we've seen this jammer in this game.
Yes, Evil X jammed a couple of times over the weekend, but not a lot, and gets
a very
clotheslined.
very hard high block there.
I don't think that was quite what Lethal was looking to do, but
no, but it's what happened.
That was 2 shots that Evil X kind of did a little clothesline maneuver. The other one was illegal, but that not so much.
Not so much, and so we've got 3 out of 5 players for Victoria in the penalty box, including their jammer. Opening this wide up. Unfortunately, since Denver's already in the lead, this is going to expand their lead yet more.
Yes.
Oh, an attempted apex jump, not quite completed by Evil X.
Evil X back in and pushing as the Laughing Planet penalty box now empties out with the return of Lethal. Bugga trying at the front to get through, but trapped up. Gobrecht on the kickstand on that tripod.
And that is, we are getting so many of these high blocks
another one
in the second half.
Yes, another high block for Lethal, and then someone else being flagged. I think that's Coyote heading for Denver.
Yep.
Coyote with the out of play, illegal position. And 4 more up for Evil X. 12 total, 131 to 81. Now it's a 50-point game.
Incredible first jam for any jammer.
Yeah. Shannon Jukes back out on the
Oh, and this
jam
is
on
an
Hawthorne.
official review called by Denver.
I'm going to guess they're going to ask about the points because I think that the well, maybe not. No, I was thinking. I think I was a jam earlier. Never mind. They're not thinking about points.
All right.
There was a jam earlier where someone went to the box after they were out, and then they came through and it was indicating no first pass, and I'm like, wait, that was they'd already cleared that anyway.
Yeah. No. And as we all know, you got to figure out your points before the beginning of the next jam.
Exactly.
If you do not figure them out by the next jam, those are the points.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if they were right.
Bad for you.
They're right now.
All right, Ninja, what's the word?
You need to have
Denver has
them get
requested
their
an
high.
upgrade on the high block to an expulsion.
Oh.
Oh, gracious.
Denver's just looking to chip away at the Victoria lineup.
Now, Victoria has already had an expulsion.
They have.
So their bench is not as deep as usual.
True.
I'm curious to see what the officials saw
Yeah.
and what their conclusion is there, because that really is
Yeah.
a matter of degree.
Right. And you'd think if they were like, oh, this, like the earlier one where the officials went, hey, they had their own conversation. They didn't need an official review to discuss it. So
Right.
I don't know. I've never been an official. I don't know how much of that weighs in with the team asking versus just, oh, that was really big.
Yeah,
Who
and
knows?
I think also, again, we've mentioned several times how experienced and excellent
Yes.
these officials are. They really have a strong conscientiousness towards making the appropriate call to the appropriate degree.
Right.
And so they do not want to expel someone without just cause, but they
Yeah.
also don't want to keep someone in the game who is a
Right, when they
danger
were
to other players.
actually, yes,
Yeah.
actively after it. Hey, if you're looking in your closet and thinking, boy, do I need more T-shirts and whatnot, Rose City has new merch. Head to the website, get all your Rose City Rollers swag, and rep your favorite teams, RoseCityRollers.com.
You know, Scott, I was just thinking, I
You were
need
thinking,
more
you
T-shirts
don't have
and
enough
whatnot.
T-shirts.
How much whatnot do I have?
Not enough. Not nearly. I just got a replacement Victoria T-shirt because mine
Ooh.
from, I don't know, 8 years ago, whenever they were at the Big O the first time, is a little worse for wear.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Just a little.
And here we go.
The penalty will not be upgraded. Denver loses their official review.
All right.
All right.
But good that they had the conversation.
I like that they do. No harm in asking. And honestly, an important question.
Klein jamming against Gin and Jukes. 131-81 the score. Denver on top. Both teams one blocker in the box, and Klein out first, lead jammer.
And we still see Gin and Juke struggling a little bit, gaining some ground, but an apex jump from Klein.
Brought to you by Killer Burger, but not landed legally.
Oh,
Ninja Sassum says, no, that skate landed out of bounds. To the box with you. Powered jam, Gin and Jukes, 2-minute jam for everybody.
and you can see the Victoria bench was all saying, keep going. And I'm like, well, there's honestly no other option. You can't call it off.
Right. And going the other way isn't going to help anybody. I mean, other than now where it
Other
doesn't
than
get you
right
a
now,
pencil
yeah.
penalty.
That's someone forcing you to go the other way.
Denver regrouped. Direction penalty being called on, didn't catch who that was. Is that Hells Yeah? Yes, Hells Yeah. Picking up the penalty. Klein out of the box. Fighting against Beef at the front and breaks clear. There's the 4 points that Klein thought she had on the landing, but didn't. And
But
Gin
good
and
things
Juke.
come to those who wait.
Yes. Gin and Juke's almost clear. Got past Janowski, but then reabsorbed and knocked out by California.
And another
Oh,
forearm
look.
penalty.
California with the illegal knockout. That doesn't help.
And
Meanwhile,
that's 4 penalties for California.
and yes, and 4 more points for Klein. So we got 11 seconds to go in the jam. Gin and Jukes. Lots of juking. Didn't see much Gin.
You know, that's
Did
the
get
after
4
party.
points. Yes. It might be in one of those canned cocktails from Rogue. There might
It-
be some gin in there. So
It
after the
might
game.
be, but please reserve that for the crowd, not the skaters.
Yes. I'm saying just got, 16 minutes and then the game will be over.
Hey, post game, you're no
Degroup
longer
with
a
the,
skater. During
Group up
the
with
game,
the team afterwards, straight to the bar.
and depending on what kind of game you had,
Yes.
straight to the bar.
Please drink responsibly. Scald Eagle jamming against Curly Burley.
Curly Burley is through already. Those last 2 Denver blockers couldn't hold him.
Curly Burley, 3 for 3 lead jammers in this half. All 3 of those against Scald Eagle. I don't know what that
So-
means, but good work, Curly Burley.
I think Curly Burley is the only opposing jammer who's gotten lead against Scald.
I could be.
I haven't checked my notes, but I believe it to be true. And Curly Burley's calling it already. Scald had gotten out. Not going to fight that fight.
Nope. So 2 passes of 4 brings us to 8, 142 to 93. And Anna Paviova back out to jam against number 151, Cotton. One lonely blocker scared to death sitting in the Laughing Planet penalty box.
And one happy jammer coming out. Pavey is the lead.
Anna Paviova with 4 penalties on the game, but
And with a spin, Cotton comes through for the initial pass. But before it's a scoring pass, call that off.
all 4 points awarded to Anna Paviova. Now we have 45-point differential, 97 to 142, 14 minutes to go. Victoria sending number 83, Curly Burley, back out to jam against Klein.
I mean, Curly Burley being one of their strongest jammers, don't blame them.
Scared to death still, or again in the penalty box.
And Jigglytuff coming in to help out get that lead jam for Curly Burley. So Victoria's not taking this lightly.
No.
Going down this second half of the second period swinging.
Curly Burley trapped at the front. Jigglytuff trying to break things free, but just repeated shoulders from Taryn. Working Curly Burley out. No run back allowed.
And a big shoulder check from Denver's number 22, Scared to Death, up at that front of the pack.
Yeah, it's the old come out of the penalty box and just start hitting, trying to break Klein free.
I mean, if I were in the penalty box, I'd be mad too.
Lethal heads to the box for a multiplayer block. So 3 blockers holding on to Klein.
And just not gaining, just 1 inch forward.
Yeah.
Both of those
Neither
walls
is-
are
yeah,
just
exactly.
stuck.
Curly Burley a bit trapped at the front as well.
And that is a directional penalty being called up at the front of the pack on number 2 for Denver. That is Taryn, which that tore down that wall.
Yep. That is Taryn's 4th.
Oof. Still has a few to go, so it's okay.
Klein finally clear, 20 seconds to go. Lethal released from the penalty box. Curly Burley checks with the bench, calls off the jam. Coyote kind of backing her up like,
Barely had access to touch
Not
her
gonna
own
let
hips
you-
to call off that jam.
get to the hips. So Curly Burley adds 2 more. A 6-point jam, now 103 to 142. And I believe someone's about to call a timeout. And that someone is Denver.
But your beliefs came true.
I
That
know.
was really impressive.
Something to do with, I'm like, why are there no skaters out? Oh, because the coach is out there. All right. This timeout brought to you by Deb Counts Tabor, Rose City Rollers official realtor. If you're ready to move to PDX, why not let Welcome PDX help find you a home?
A lot of good ones here.
Good reason to move is to bring your kids out for the Junior Winter Break Camp. Spend winter break with Rose City Rollers at Junior Derby Winter Break Camp, December 18th through 22nd. You can register now at rosecityrollers.com/join. And if you want to, learn some strategery and whatnot, 4-time world champion Wheels of Justice hosting a winter clinic series, offense, defense, jamming, and juniors. Head to rosecityrollers.com for more information. All reasons to come to Portland.
Heck yeah, learn from the best. Drink the best booze.
There you go.
Learn the best derby.
Eat the best breakfast at
Hang
Jam
out.
on Hawthorne.
Hang out with the best people. It's all right here.
Oh, Victoria going to go with 2 jammers to start. That's a new strategy. Oh, no. Jukes will return to the bench.
It's not that kind of game yet.
Not yet. They're not collecting donations to allow changes to the rules. Although that would be fun in a tournament. It is Anna Pavuova jamming against Misty Maven. And a whole bunch of blockers. Taryn finally back and swings in on offense.
Misty Maven trying to get in through there, not quite making it. We have a multiplayer block being called.
And someone else being called. That's, let's see who's going off. 099 Chinaski picking up the multiplayer.
And that was another penalty being called on number 2, Taryn.
Yeah.
So 2 Denver blockers are in the box now.
And that was Taryn's 5th penalty.
And that was a misconduct.
Might have been, maybe that was a double then. Maybe Taryn picked up something plus the misconduct. We'll never know.
We will never
Because
know.
I didn't pay that much attention.
We can only try to watch the officials give their hand signals and then look at the computer what it tells us.
Anna Pavuova did break free. Misty Maven calls off the jam. Misty got all 4. Anna Pavuova, despite hoping for 2, gets nothing.
Story of my life, man.
46-103. 10 minutes to go in the game. This 3rd place game of the 2023 Hometown Throwdown. Championship game coming up next. Wheels of Justice from Rose City versus arch rival.
That's going to be an intense
great.
game.
That is going to be a great game.
So stay on through this one and then keep your YouTube open.
Yes. Scald Eagle jamming against Jin Jukes. And Jin and Jukes forced out, well, both forced out of bounds and rolling back in the inconvenient right in front of us behind the big wall spot.
But at least we've got the high ground to see all this good derby action. And
True.
Scald Eagle just struggling against that wall, but the pack is open enough that she's able to split them down. 3, 2, 1, none.
Finally pushes Lethal to the front. That was a solid defense. Madden and Lethal holding on to the very last minute.
Yep.
Ooh.
And Scald Eagle throws something into the crowd.
Yeah, she's got souvenirs. Probably a guitar pick.
I think it was part of her bandage.
Oh, all right. Little piece of the finger tape.
Yeah.
All right, no points for Victoria on that. 3 points for Scald Eagle. So we're now 149-103. 8.5 minutes to go. 46 points separate the teams. Klein jamming for Denver. Curly Burley, the star for Victoria. Both teams full strength.
Curly Burley trying to not just push, but actually pivot the entire wall so that they become the front person.
Yes. Yeah, that's like get them all to rotate, and then they just don't want to.
Funny enough, they want to keep their wall.
Klein grabs lead, 3 straight for Denver. As Beef to the penalty box on the multiplayer block.
Ooh. And pivot for Victoria, number 66, gets spun to the ground. That's Barry in the effort to break up the opposition wall, open up some points for the jammer.
And Denver's unprotected Lex also off to the Laughing Planet penalty box for a multiplayer. As Klein calls off the jam. Grabbed 4, 153-103. Denver back to the, we've got a lead, we need to maintain it, we'll just get lead, get some points, call it off and burn those extra 30 seconds each time. Victoria with 2 timeouts plus their official review.
Amazing, amazing footwork by Cotton on that inside line.
Anna Pavuova jamming for Victoria.
And that is a multiplayer block being called once again against Coyote from Denver. So that is...
Oh. And Paviola with the pose. Very important to get the pose. Didn't get the foot down before the fourth whistle blew, though. Coaches have to like check. Hey, that was a great jump. Did that work? No, it did not.
No. Excellent effort, though.
Yes, all 4 points up.
Excellent
for Cotton.
style.
That was a killer Apex jib worthy of a killer burger at Killer Burger. And bottomless fries.
And taking the double jammer off the track.
Yes.
That's got to play hell on our scorekeeper, or
Right.
scoreboard operator.
So Scald Eagle jamming for Denver. Curly Burley
Ah.
is your lead jammer.
Look how beautiful.
Points earner.
Scald with the helmet cover off. Putting that back on again.
Coyote out of the penalty box. Curly Burley.
Look at that delight on Curly Burley's face at that 8-point jam.
That breaks a string of 4 scoreless jams for Victoria. 157-111. 5 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Misty Maven jamming against Pulp Friction. I think this is Pulp Friction's first jam of the game, right? I think so. Not Misty Maven's.
Definitely not Misty Mavens.
Misty Maven is lead jammer. Pulp Friction is free. And Misty Maven bumped off by Jigglytuff.
And makes the smart call, calls off the jam.
Jigglytuff a little slow to get up, but is back on the feet. That's a hard, man. Anytime you just land flat on your backside,
Just
it's no
and just
fun.
get the wind knocked out
Yeah,
of you.
and
It's
like
no
the
good.
tailbones, like, why did you do that?
For the love of the sport.
Exactly.
That's why.
Apparently so. So 2 points for Misty Maven on that jam. 159-111.
And Pavey making every effort to come through. Wonderful wall opening by that Victorian pivot. That's number 66, Barry. Oh,
Klein does clear the pack. Anna Pavuova almost.
almost.
Not quite.
So close.
Calls off the jam. 2 points for Victoria.
So Victoria at this time is just chipping away at that points difference.
Chip, chip, chip. Now 46 points in between.
And we have a timeout being called, I believe, by Victoria. Yes, indeed.
All right, this timeout brought to you by Deb Counts Tabor, Rose City Rollers official realtor. I'm going to be saying that in my sleep for the next week or two. Just because,
Like
again,
I say.
Deb's getting her money's worth.
You know, the timeouts are sponsored.
Yes.
And you gotta, this is what I say, clearly a smart realtor.
Knows
Knowing-
how to get that name out there.
Heck yes.
Also like to thank 187 Killer Pads, the exclusive protective gear sponsor for Rose City. 187 Killer Pads, worn by the most pros in the world. If you skate, you know why.
They're comfortable and they work.
There you go. Also want to thank 888. The certified Sweat Saver helmet from 888 is designed for derby, vert ramps, and everything in between, which in conversation with Murray Grande yesterday, I think that just means flat track and bank track and then vert ramps. That's everything in between. Right?
That's everything in
There's
between.
derby
So,
and then there's vert
well,
ramps.
Pavement?
I guess you could. Sure,
Pavement in
fine.
between?
Skate park, I guess.
I don't know. I didn't study philosophy.
All right, Curly Burley, lead jammer Cotton held up at the back.
And again, Jigglytuff doing that blocker move of instantly recycling. And all of that toe stop running brought Cotton back up into the initial pass.
Good move, Cotton.
Curly Burley not deciding to try to pass. catching past that jammer.
Yeah, Cotton's pretty quick. That'd be a long run.
And it is the,
Take the points.
end of the weekend,
It is,
not
yes,
the beginning.
very true. Third day of 3 long games.
And some of the skaters, I don't know that any of these skaters here are, but some of the skaters are double rostered.
Right.
So they are playing multiple games
Yes.
in a row throughout the days.
Definitely the truth for Rose, and a number of the skaters that were on Black Diaspora were on other teams as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Scald Eagle, Anna Pavuova. And Anna Pavuova out first, lead jammer.
And Scald gets absolutely bonked out to the side by Barry. And in revenge,
Yes.
jukes to the side and gets out.
Anna Pavuova calls off the jam, another 4 spot. Denver again held scoreless. We're down to 2 minutes to go, 159-121, 38-point game.
Honestly, not bad for teams of this caliber.
Yes. Misty Maven out to jam for Denver. Curly Burley with the star for Victoria, and a timeout called by Denver.
Weirdly, with a sort of panicked, am I the jammer? Are you the jammer? Where's
Exactly.
the jammer?
Klein's like, no, wait, it's me. Oh, no, it's not. All right, we'll just call a timeout. Once again, timeout brought to you by Deb Count Stable, Rose City Rollers, official realtor. Welcome to PDX. Want to thank Trailhead Credit Union. Get financial guidance for whatever trail you choose at Trailhead Credit Union. And thank Dr. Tim Williams, Rose City's sports medicine partner.
The most vital
Super
partner
important, right?
for Roller
Yes.
Derby League.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of keeping yourself healthy, we'll thank Zoom Care. It's the healthcare you need when, where, and how you want it. Zoomcare.com. Sponsoring the in-house scoreboard and other things, I'm sure.
Every sponsorship helps us put on
Yes.
every game, every tournament, every scrimmage. So we thank all of our sponsors. You keep us rolling.
All right, Klein and Curly Burley, minute 40 to go in the game. Curly Burley almost, but can't keep it in bounds. Klein's trying to sneak on the outside edge, just following along behind Kraken. And Klein forced out and rolled back. LaRage with the run back there as the Gobrecht, the pivot for Denver, off to the box on the multiplayer block. And someone else going to go to the penalty box in a second. Oh, Klein picking up the penalty.
Ooh,
That is a head block for Klein.
that's unusual.
Yes.
We don't, another penalty just being called that puts a third Denver player in the box, and I mean, it opens everything up for Curly Burley.
It does.
It is Curly Burley's world. We're just living in it.
Lead jammer for Curly Burley. As illegal position was the call on Chinaski. Lethal also to the box for Victoria. As Gobrecht is now out. Curly Burley gets the 4 points, calls off the jam. Victoria does have both a timeout and an official review, and they will use that timeout right now.
And that gets them one extra
Yes.
jam before, because if they hadn't used it, the clock would have run out, and
Yep.
that would have been the end of the game. But instead, we're taking this little timeout.
Get another bonus.
Yeah, we get a bonus round.
18 seconds,
And-
34-point difference.
And honestly, Victoria, all they need to do is do a little more chipping.
A little more significant chip in the next 32
Look,
minutes, but they can do it.
I'm not saying that they're gonna win the game.
That's true. They could narrow it
I'm
very
not
well.
gonna say that, but they could narrow the lead.
Yes. Hey, help make all our sponsors happy. Snap, post, and tag, hashtag RCR sponsor. You could win VIP tickets to one of our games, which will help if you're here. The travel costs not included in that winning. I did not see any airlines as major sponsors here, so I don't think they're
Although,
flying you from.
If you are a major airline and you wish to sponsor Rose City, please give us a call.
Sponsor the person in Australia who wins.
Look, if we could get, I don't know, Qantas, are you out there?
There you go.
Give us a call.
All right, power start for Anna Paviova.
Amy doing great.
Yes.
This is exactly what Victoria needs for this final jam.
But Klein will not be stopped. And now Denver is saying, we're just going to race now, thank you, because we just have to wait until the clock runs out, which it has, and stay ahead. Oh, nice juke by Anna Paviova. Absorbs a couple of shots. Chinaski going to get a direction play, I think, on that play. That call.
Yes, indeed.
Pavy's clear with 4.
And Pavy has a power jam.
Oh, yes. Klein picking up their 3rd penalty of the game.
There is still time for Klein to return to the track within this jam. But Pavy has that full 30 seconds to make something happen.
Yes, cut track was the call on Klein. Chinaski and unprotected Lex both sitting in the box, and Anna Paviova taking a big shot. 56 seconds left to go in the game.
And they're out again. Another 4 points.
Yes.
This is a huge jam for Victoria.
Indeed, 159-137, 22 points is the gap. As Klein back in. Klein is on a scoring pass. Takes the shoulder to the very top of that legal engagement zone on the sternum. Anna Paviova bumped out of bounds.
That sternum hit hurts so bad.
Oh, no doubt.
And
great
work from number 35.
But almost caught by Scarrett to death, but Pavy manages to keep the feet in bounds. That was very lucky and very well done.
Yes.
And Paviova deflected back into the center of the track, 2-1. That is the game. Anna Paviova clearly exhausted.
What an amazing final jam. I am so glad Victoria took that time out to make one final run at it, because bringing up a 12 points to that difference, incredible.
Yes, 16-4 in the final jam, 163-144 is your final score. Unofficially, but they'll officialize it shortly.
Yeah. The officials officialize everything eventually.
They do, they're all official.
Yeah.
So there you go, Denver takes 3rd place in the 2023 Hometown Throwdown. Victoria, respectable 4th place finish. That was a super tough game and very, very entertaining.
I am so pleased that all of you out there in YouTube land were here with us to watch this amazing game. Please stick around for our 5 o'clock Pacific time final game of the Hometown Throwdown. It is going to be spectacular.
It is. That'll be in 28 minutes, maybe 27. I don't know. I can't do math. Not very long. Don't go anywhere.
Get up and stretch. Maybe get yourself a snack. Come right back and watch some incredible roller derby. Thanks, everyone.